Let's work through the problems that are going to be similar to problems that are on the test and also on the review sheet that's available for you for extra credit that's due on Sunday night. That's Sunday, 12/12. And so the first set of problems are just going to be square roots. So looking at all the different types of square root problems and then going over a little bit of review of things from Algebra 1 that you should be aware of so that you can reduce things down, just make things a little bit easier when you're dealing with square roots. So number one is that we have -8 times the square root of 18x minus 7 equals -56. Well, notice that we have negatives on both sides. So because I have negatives here on this side and I have negatives here on this side, that means that I can solve this one. So the first step that I'm going to do when I'm trying to solve this is I'm going to divide both sides by -8. So that gives me the square root of 18x minus 7 equals, and then 8 goes into 56 7 times. And then I'm going to square both sides. So I'm going to take the square of the left side, the square of the right side. The square and the square root cancel each other. So I have 18x minus 7 equals 49. I'm going to add 7 to both sides. So that gives me 18x equals 56. I'm then going to divide both sides by 18. And so x equals 29, because 2 goes into both of those, over 9. So that would be my answer for number 1. For number 2, I have x squared minus 5x equals 6. Notice I have nothing multiplied on the left side, so I don't have to worry about it. I can immediately go to squaring. So I'm going to square both sides. So that gives me x squared minus 5x equals 36. Anytime I have an x squared, I have to move everything to the same side. So I have x squared minus 5x minus 36 equals 0. And then I'm going to factor. So I look at the -36. I see this first negative with a 36. That tells me that the two signs have to be different. And then this one tells me that the larger number has to be negative. So I'm going to do plus, minus, and so on. So I have 1 and 36. 2 and 18, 3 and 12, and 4 and 9. And these are the ones that add up to -5. So I can immediately write that out. The reason why I can immediately write that out is because there's a 1 in front of there. So that is x plus 4 as it's written. X minus 9 equals 0. I'm then going to set each one equal to 0. I'm going to solve. So x equals -4. And in this case, I get x equals +9. So I have 2 answers there for those. And that takes care of that one. On the next set of problems now, I have the square root of 25. So I know that 5 times 5 is 25. For every 2 that I have inside the square root, I can take 1 out, and I have none left because I took 2 out, and that gave me the 1 on the outside. So that gives me 5, or the square root of 25 is 5. For 50, I do 2 times 25, which is really the square root of 2 times 5 times 5. For every 2, I can take 1 out, so I take out a 5. That cancels those 2. And then I still have left over the square root of 2. So that would be the answer for that one. On the next one, you may not recognize it right away, but that's okay. Take out a 2. Try just some of the numbers to see what you can take out. I'm going to take out a 2, so I get 64 left over. 64 I know is a square root, so that is 2 times 8 times 8. I have 2 there. I can take 1 out, and I have the square root of 2 left over. And on the last one, I have the square root of 27. That is 9 times 3. That's going to be 3 times 3 times 3. Notice that I have 2 3s. Take those 2 3s out, and I have 1 left over, so that is 3 square root of 3. So that's how you deal with the square root problems on all of the problems that you'll see on the final.